Hi darlings, how are you? Hope you've had a good week. Here I am, Deborah Crowe. If you're new to the group, huge welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. You can see the fan whirring overhead and the background noise is the aircon. I'm not in the UK, I live in Tanzania and it's absolutely boiling here. I've been dripping. I just collected all the sweat from under my chin and wiped it off before I started so I didn't glow. So, yes, so what did I want to say? I wanted to say hi, hope you're having reasonable weeks. Some of you haven't, some of you have been very stressed, got horrid symptoms, and I just think, you poor things. I know all about it, which is why I've done the work, done the research. Hi Amanda, how are you darling? And set up the group really to get you back to the top of your game, because I've been through it all. And so today actually I wanted to just have a quick word or quick think about some of the things that I've learned from myself and also from working with other women about the sorts of things we need to put in place to manage our menopause and get back to the top of our game. And for those of you who've been in the group for a while, you'll know that I have been banging on, I do bang on quite a lot actually, about all sorts of things, but one of the biggest things is stress reduction, because stress makes your menopause symptoms much worse. And so sometimes you need to pause for breath and just sort of push away all the noise and take a day off work and just sit and think, okay, what am I doing? How can I cope with this? And that leads into the 3 Ps really. So I've got a webinar, a training session coming up, 3 things, so 3 secrets I've called it, to save your career from menopause hell, and it's on the 22nd of November. I had to change the date because little technical pixies were fighting against me to get it done in time for next week. So it's Thursday the 22nd of November, 8 o'clock UK time. And this should give us all plenty of time for me to outline the 3 things that I've seen where women are, unbeknownst to them, making their menopause symptoms worse. So some of the beliefs, some of the mindset stuff, some of the, just misinformation that's out there. And then I've got 3 hot tips that will help you get your menopause back into under control, because it should be the best time of life. And I know it's really, really hard to think that when you're right in the middle of the symptoms. So today I just wanted to say that it's just really, really important to not let your symptoms drag on for years and years and years, because it sort of becomes the new normal. And there isn't enough of the right information. There isn't enough support. So I just posted an what do you call it? Infographic thing. From a colleague, Julie Dennis, who's doing great work in menopause in the workplace, showing that, women are suffering for years. I mean, the survey that she showed that were suffering with symptoms that were adversely affecting them for over a year. And, that is just dreadful, because really from identifying like I said in last week's live, from identifying your symptoms to really feeling much, much better, either getting rid of the symptoms altogether or reducing them, should really only be 3 months. And that's really, really important. So I really urge all of you in the group, the second you notice you have symptoms, and obviously you've all been proactive, you've probably tried loads of different things. As soon as you notice your symptoms, you need to get tracking. And so that's actually the first P. Oh, it's a silly name, isn't it, the 3 Ps? But the first P that I've identified in the curriculum that I've sort of put together is the plan. You have to have a plan, because otherwise all that happens is you're sort of lurching from one thing to another, focus on this, focus on that, sort of headline stuff. And you need to just, as like I said earlier, ignore the noise, focus on the plan. And the plan is your daily life audit, because everybody's different, although the top 3 symptoms are the same, like the brain fog and the sleepy, the problems with sleep, and the poor memory. I mean, those seem to be the top 3 for most women. You need to, once you've got identified your symptoms, you need to track them, you need to find your hidden saboteurs, you need to find the triggers that might be making them worse, and then you need to look at your top 3, and then you systematically reduce your stress, check your food, etc., and follow a systematic and rigorous plan, and then almost like stop reading the headlines. You just focus on what you need for that particular phase that you're in. Then the progress, the second P is the progress bit, and that should really be, you know, to really make progress is there's no point having a lovely darling plan if you don't use it. And the plan has to be for your particular situation. So the progress P is the 3 to 6 month bit. 6 months really if you've got huge underlying health issues perhaps that menopause can throw up, or you know you're very stressed. But that's this attention, daily attention to making those small adjustments and nudges to alter your lifestyle to reduce or prevent symptoms. So that's the first bit, the second bit, sorry. And then the last bit is the perform, because obviously this is about getting women back to the top of their game and beyond. I mean, we've got a world to sort out, girls. You know, we can't be doing with all this symptom here and this, you know, this organ's hurting and the chest pains and the brain fog. You know, we've got things to contribute, and we can't think like that if we're muddle-headed and, you know, suffering in the way so many you know, women are. It's just shocking. So that's the third P, which is really, you know, perform, get back to the top of your game. So if you're action takers and if you really want to do it, have to be systematic. So I'd encourage anybody who's watching, or if you're watching the replay or in the group, you clearly started to take action and done lots of other things, I'm sure. Download the brain fog tracker. I keep saying frog, it's fog, brain fog tracker, and start tracking your key symptoms. I mean, you can just scratch out brain fog and write, you know, insomnia, because there's a lot you can do yourself. And the thing is that it's going to take 10 years for the menopause guidelines to trickle down to GP level in the UK. You can see at work, it's going to take a few years for that to get sorted. I mean, Amanda in the group has been doing, you know, a fantastic job advocating for herself at work and for other women. But, you know, we have to do a lot ourselves. And I spent years, years. Yeah, you need to get on top of your frog. Yay for brain fog, you poor pet. But we have to manage ourselves. I did spend a long time sort of blaming doctors and think, well, how come nobody told me this? And how come this, what? Actually, it's pointless. You have to be responsible. You are the director of operations of your own health. And just like at work, you have to treat your health, your menopause symptoms like a project. And that's why I say at work, if there was some major problem looming at work, you wouldn't ignore it, would you? You wouldn't ignore it for years. You would chuck money at it, you would get a consultant in, you would track it, you would monitor it, you would set daily goals, you would make a plan, yeah? So that's exactly what you need to do with your menopause symptoms. You know, no just normalizing it, thinking that actually, God, I'm going to put up with it, or you know, just looking at this body part and that body part. The information is patchy, some of it's fantastic, but action. So, darlings, that's really what I wanted to say. I can see myself glistening again here in the heat. I'm just going to get my little sweat rag. Sorry, everybody. I know it's absolutely freezing in the UK and the States where you are, unless you're in other hot places like I am. That's really what I wanted to say, and I'd really love it if you can sign up to the webinar. Thanks, Amanda, for leading the way on signing up for the webinar. There will be a replay, but I've got some nice goodies, hopefully, to help you along if you're able to make it live. And I'm really looking forward to any feedback, comments, help, questions that you've got. Just let me know. Yes, it's very cold in Inverness, absolutely, and dark. Sorry, love, it's nice and bright here. Mind you, it does get dark at 6 here every night, all year. It's the same. It's the tropics. I think light at 5:30, dark at 6 every day of the year. Anyway, I mustn't complain. So I hope that this has helped. As I said, send me questions, and I can always do lives around questions. And I'm sending you lots and lots of love to everybody, and keep on tracking, babes. We've got stuff to do in the world, all right? We can't let our symptoms get in the way of the best phase of life. Lots of love. Bye.